have been thrown out from my usual places for filming. Other people's suggestion, other people's ideas. It is what it is. Instead of being a good, diligent reader, made by her, by the way. Here it is. Hello all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sara. Usually I do some videos about books, about reading, about writing, about productivity. So today it's all about books, all about March readings, not just the Read or DNF'it Reading Challenge, but also other books that I have read in March, and also my book picks for April. I have been thrown out from my usual places for filming, so I'm currently in my kid's bedroom because it's the only place she left me. She's currently on a break from school, so it is what it is, and I am making do here in her bedroom, so that's why we have the kid's lamp made by her, by the way. First, in March I have picked 4 books for the challenge, as is usual. First one was Sleeping with Paris by Juliette Sauvanet. So this one, it was an immediate DNF'it. I have started it and I didn't enjoy it. It tries to be an adventure, moving to a new city where you don't know anybody, and then it's supposed to be fun, but all I saw was vanity and trying to be fashionable, and it's not. It's just vain, boring, and with some sex on the mix. So not my thing. My second pick for March was The Joy of Christmas Present by L.J. Rowlands. Why did I start a trilogy with the book in the middle? I do not know. This was another clear DNF'it. I don't know if I won't return to this series because I was intrigued by it. This is kind of inspired in Charles Dickens' story, Christmas Carol, so I am intrigued by that, but I don't want to start a trilogy in the middle book, in the present. At least I should give it a chance, a proper chance, and start in the beginning. But it will be for March. It was a clear DNF'it. Third book, Feng and Shui by Eddie Wong. Another DNF'it. This month I will have a lot of rewards by DNF'ing books because I have DNF'it 3 of the 4. So this one was a book that was available to read on the books app. I didn't got into it, so I thought it had a bit of a personal twist to it, not effectively the Feng Shui theory. So I DNF'd it, and that's it. The fourth book for the month, so the book picks for March, it was Tales of Ireland by W.B. Yeats. This is a collection of short stories. Here it is, My Fairy Tales of Ireland by W.B. Yeats. This is a collection of short stories which have been researched and rewritten by Yeats. So it has quite different approach. This is kind of historical knowledge and things that were passed through time. And I would like to read it having a slow read, so trying to really absorb what I'm reading and letting it sink in. And it's an illustrated book, so I want to take my time with it. I do not want to read it in a hurry. These were the 4 book picks for March. Instead of being a good, diligent reader, I ended up picking up other books to read during March, and I would like to share those reads with you, a little bit of those. So I started with a reread. I have lost count of how many times I have read this book for my child, and also by myself, because I do enjoy this book. It has a lot of meaning. I ended up translating this book title for I Will Go With Myself, because there aren't any other editions except Spanish and Portuguese. So this is one of my favorite books, and this is a story of a girl that likes a boy but keeps accepting other people's ideas about herself and about what she should change in herself in order to grab that boy's attention. Of course, that this doesn't go as planned, so she keeps changing things about herself until she comes to the conclusion that she is not herself anymore, and that she has to let go of all of other people's opinions about her. I do love the illustrations, so it's a very good book. The second book that I read in March was The Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa. This is the 3rd book of the Iron Fae series. We follow Megan Chase, half human, half fairy. She is the daughter of a fairy king, and she ended up with the responsibility of helping people in fairy to get rid of the Iron King. It's an adventure, it's young adult, it has a romance in it, it has a lot of relationships, of friendships, of unrequited love. It's a great story, it's very well written, I am enjoying it very much. I kind of picked up another book by Gina Showalter, February Read It or DNF'it Reading Challenge. It brought me back to the Lords of the Underworld series. So I picked up The Darkest Angel, and this is the story of Lysander, he's an angel, and Bianca, which is a harpy and a direct descendant from Lucifer. And it's a romance, so it has paranormal, it has twists, it has a lot of things, but I don't know why I didn't enjoy this one as much. I ended up giving it 3 stars. Another read, in this case another audiobook that I was listening to in March, was No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I gave it 5 stars. It's a non-fiction. It's something that we can read when we are trying to understand a bit more about motivation and discipline and what makes us be the best that we can be in our lives, in our careers, with our family. There are a lot of sensitive themes here, like how to be a better husband, how to be a better professional, how to be present for our families, how to evolve in our careers, what we must do if we want to truly devote ourselves to something. So it's an interesting read. I did enjoy it a lot. It kind of shows the reader how to be more responsible about their life choices and the things that we decide to do or not to do, and how that affects someone in their life. My 6th read for March was The Darkest Passion by Gina Showalter. And it was my last attempt at this series, so I ended up giving it 3 stars also, and I kind of DNF'd the series. So this story particularly is about Aaron, an immortal warrior, and Olivia, a fallen angel, and it gets a bit dull. The female character is a bit strange and it's not just because she's a fallen angel, it's because she has a lot of patterns there, but when she acts on those beliefs that she has, she ends up not doing what she's supposed to believe in. It's a bit strange. I didn't quite get Olivia, so I don't know, it gets a bit confusing. I ended up giving it 3 stars and DNF'd the whole series. The 7th book, it's The Mermaid Song by a Portuguese author, Júlio Diniz. He's a well-known and loved Portuguese author. This particular story, which is a short story, was published in 1987, so it's not recent. It's reflective of another period in time, and it speaks through a culture from some regions in our country, which it's kind of a bit outdated, if I can say it like that. I wasn't thrilled about it. This story, I was expecting a bit more. After all, it's a Portuguese classic. I was expecting it to be a little bit more well written, if that's okay. So this is an open door to controversy, I know. It seems written by a first timer, by a newbie. It doesn't make sense. It has a lot of telling. The story in itself, it's kind of ingenious, it's interesting, but then it's not well written, and it's confusing because he keeps talking to the reader through the characters, directly through the characters, so we are constantly pulled out of the story by someone that wants to say something about something which is cultural, relevant in that time. I didn't enjoy it very much. I gave it 2 stars. We have a few classics that have set some themes and some expectations on those themes, like it's like the mermaids myth and different myths in different islands all over the world. We have a lot of things already written about it. So I wasn't quite dazzled with this version of it. Number 8, The Thief by G.R. Ward. This is the 16th book of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. These are a lot of big words for one sentence. I am a big fan of this series. I can see some things in it, how the series has grown through time and how these characters are evolving, how other characters are being introduced, how the main plot through the series is kind of wonky, kind of getting some new things in the middle, stuff like that. But this G.R. Ward does a great job in constructing characters, having a style of her own. It always surprises me. This book, we see the resolution of a story between two characters, Asael and Sola, which have been evolving in other books, but now this is the book where they finally find their ending. And we have some parallel stories also. It has the series is constructed by different stories by different characters in different points of their lives, so that's interesting too. And this book had a scene, one of the most enjoyable, funny dialogues that I have ever read, and it's something that it's so on character. It's a scene that is so funny, so well accomplished, because it's really truly the characters doing their thing, and it's so funny. I laughed a lot with this. It's great. So if you are going to read it, or if you have already read it, I just have 3 words for you: My Little Pony. And you read it and then you let me know if you thought it as funny as I believe it to be. Number 9 of my readings for March is not a book, so it's a graphic novella. I have been to the movies last week, seeing the John Wick chapter 4, and then I catch some things on the internet, and one of the things were that Keanu Reeves has a graphic novella co-written by him with Matt Kindt. This piqued my interest, so I ended up consuming the 12 volumes of Berserker. I have been wanting to read something, manga or a graphic novella or even comics, because it's been a long time since I have read something those particular styles, but I didn't know what to choose. So when I saw this, I am quite a big fan of Keanu Reeves' work. I think he chooses parts that always have something about them, so he usually knows how to pick his movies. This one was an opportunity to see a bit how he worked on something else different from movies. Of course, it's a story, it's written, it doesn't have a lot of text, but it has a lot of subtext, and it has a lot of meaning. It focuses on a grand theme that I find it interesting. You read it. You let me know if you find it interesting enough. It has a lot of blood, okay, which it's not my first choice, let me say it this way, but I can deal with a bit of blood. It's not that will. I love action, and I love action movies, and I love when a good movie is an action movie, which sometimes it's difficult to achieve, but Keanu always gets it. For my last book of this reading, it's not a finished one. Now it is, because I'm filming this in April, not in March. So I have already finished this book. It's The Savior, the 17th book of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. So I kept on reading the next one on the series. I guess I will not give you a lot of information of this one. I just wanted to tell you that with this book I can say that this is the series that I have read the most of. This is the series that I have read more quantity, and the author that I have read more works. This title was held by Laurel K. Hamilton with the Anita Blake series, which I have read 17 books from that series. I don't have plans to get back into it, even though I might do so, because I never say never, and I know maybe a month or a year from now I will be having a blast picking up the 18th and going on until the end, because she's... Which one was it? I don't know, it's the 25th book she has written on this series. I don't know, I will check it out and then I will put it here. G.R. Ward now claims my most read author, with 17 books from the Black Dagger Brotherhood, plus 6 from the Fallen Angels series. And I have read some of the Jessica Birds also, which is one of her pen names. What can I say? I'm a fan. I have picked my April reads for the Read of DNF'it challenge. Let me tell you that I am pleased. I didn't expect it to be this way, but I picked them from a jar, so that's what we get when we pick things from a jar. So April truly will be my romance month. This is no secret, I have already shared this on my Portuguese blog and on Instagram. I think I have shared it on Instagram also. If not, you will be seeing it shortly. So the first one is Seize the Night by Sherilyn Kenyon. It's the Dark Hunter series. I have already started it. I am enjoying it. Sherilyn Kenyon works with mythology, so she created a universe full of old myths, old stories, old characters from those times. So it's interesting. It has references and things that I usually enjoy. The other one is Fury by Anya Bast, the Otterkin, the first book of the Otterkin series. I don't think I have read anything from Anya Bast, but I know this is romance also. So the third book is Pleasure Unbound by Larissa Yon, the Demonica series. I recall reading a few books from this series, and I at the time I thought it was kind of out of my box, my usual box. So, but it was I thought it fun. The fourth, Heart of Obsidian by Nalini Singh. It's the 12th of the Psy Changeling series, and I read 11, so this is the 12th. I'm sure I will enjoy it. These were my books for March, my books for April. I wanted to start reading a bit more romance, because it's kind of what I enjoy writing also. So romance and other worlds and other species and paranormal and fantasy and things like that, and creatures and a lot of things. And I have April book picks all in my taste. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you're okay over there. I hope everything's okay. Let me know if you have read any one of these books, what you thought about it. If you have any recommendations for me, I will appreciate it also. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It will mean a lot to me. And thank you so much. See you next week. Bye bye.